Are you meditation curious? Or maybe you've done it in the past, but you're never sure if you're getting it quite right. If so, then you've opened the perfect video, because today I'm going to help dispel the myths of meditating and offer techniques in getting started with the practice and committing to a practice you love. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Eva Marie, a functional medicine health coach, and this channel is all about reclaiming your life, your health, and your well-being. We talk about lifestyle habits, some biohacks, information on how you can improve your environment, and a whole lot of self-nurturing tips. So there are a number of styles of meditating, but today we're going to talk about the basics. When to do it, where to do it, how long to do it, and what are the best positions to sit in while you're doing it. But before we get into all that, let's talk about the don'ts. Let's get those out of the way. Do not consume caffeine right before you're about to meditate. It will make it really challenging. Also, you do not want to consume alcohol or marijuana before. So now that we got those out of the way, let's talk about how to actually do it. You can meditate at really any time of the day. The trick is finding the most suitable time for you. I like to meditate first thing in the morning, before I have my caffeine and before I look at my phone and before I get going and get a bunch of stuff in my head. And my rule of thumb is no coffee till I meditate. You can really meditate anywhere, but for beginners, I recommend picking a spot in your home where you can go, be comfortable, and be uninterrupted for at least 15 or 20 minutes. I don't recommend starting in bed. If you do it in bed, you're going to send mixed signals to the brain. Is this a place to sleep or is this a place to meditate? So do it on the couch, do it on a chair, do it on the floor, do it on a yoga mat, pick a cushion if you want, and you can have your back supported, okay? If you want to lean your back on something, that's fine, but do not support the head. You want the brain to consciously keep the head up so that you don't fall asleep. Like 15 to 20 minutes in the morning and another 15-20 minutes in the evening. For beginners, I recommend 5 to 10 minutes until you develop the practice. Then work your way up to at least 15 minutes. If you can do 15 minutes, then you're set for the day. What position is best? So this is one of those myths that you have to sit in lotus pose or in some kind of yoga uncomfortable position, and that's simply not true. A trick I like to use is giving the mind a job. And one technique is following the breath, okay? And you can do this visually. Also feel as the air is coming into my body. I feel it in my lower abdomen. My lower abdomen expands. Then as I release the breath, my lower abdomen collapses. And this happens over and over again. Another visualization you can use is visualizing water coming up on shore, and as it comes up, it pauses and then it retracts. The same way the air does in our lungs. And you can even hear the sound of the ocean as you're visualizing that. Another trick I like to do is counting the breath. And it's kind of like a game, a little bit of a competition. So what I do is I will count to 10, okay? Every time I get an inhale, then I exhale, and that's 1. I breathe. 1. 2, right? Now, the goal is to reach 10. And when I reach 10, I get to start all over again. The problem is it's really hard to reach 10 without having thoughts come in and out. You're gonna have thoughts come in and out, but you don't have to pursue the thoughts. You don't have to get an emotional charge from the thoughts. So if I get to 3, I'm doing a really good job, okay? It's really hard to get to 3. But then I'll start again. Sometimes I get to 10. And before you know it, the chime comes up and it's over. And this is the practice of shifting and returning the focus back to the breath, not chasing every thought that comes in and out of your head. So those are 3 good techniques for you to practice. Experiment with whichever one you want. They're all great. Okay, so we talked about how to do a meditation. You want to set the best time of day for you, and don't worry if the first time that you set, if you set 10 a.m. because that's when I take my break, and then it doesn't work out, that's okay. You experimented with that, you found it didn't work, and you're going to try something new. Maybe 7 a.m. works better. The point is to find what works best and stick to that time. After a while, you're going to find that you are looking forward to it, and if you don't get it in, you're going to start to miss it. And when you meditate, you're going to start to notice over time incremental changes. And just like you have those incremental positive changes in your life from meditating, when you drop out of meditating, you'll notice that you're starting to lose those benefits incrementally too. You might not notice it day 1 or day 2, but 2 weeks in, if you haven't got your meditation in, you're really going to realize, I need to get back to it. I feel so much better when I'm meditating. I'm calmer, less reactive, happier. Your digestive is better, whatever. So the time of day, the location, find a location that you're comfortable with and you won't be interrupted. The position you want to sit in, whatever works for you, but make sure that your head is not supported and you can have your back supported. If you want to sit in lotus pose, eventually you can get there. But that's not necessary to getting started. And I would recommend, if you're getting started, don't overshoot as far as how long you want to meditate for. Start with 5 minutes if you can. It's about setting the habit. Once you get the habit dialed in, you can improve your timing. So with that, good luck on your journey to meditating, and I'd love to hear more about your experience. Drop them in the comments below.